Welcome to Winter Solstice edition, day 3 of our 12 days of giving. Today is such a powerful, potent day, and I want to share with you some rituals, some important notes to take into account, and how to use this time very powerfully, magically to create the life that you desire. So today is the darkest day of the year, Winter Solstice. It is the change of the season, and it actually begins the first day of the year for real, right? And, this whole idea of bringing light and bringing Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all the different light rituals through the various holidays, through all the different religions, is because now is the dark time of year. And we've been talking about this, how the dark nights of your soul are so potent and powerful and magical. They're portals that make you wiser, stronger, more resilient. You really shed what's not serving you. Those, I call them like these death appointments, these death dates that we go through while we're still alive. And today is actually a day that signifies the death. And death is needed. Death is needed in our life, in nature, right? Things die, it fertilizes the soil, and then new things can grow. The same is true in our lives. There's a season for everything. Change is the only constant. Change is inevitable. And the truth is, if you're growing, you're evolving, you're transforming, you're becoming, change is normal and it's good and it's celebrated, because when you change internally, so does your external world. Change shows that you're growing, that you're evolving. And this is what we want. This is why we're alive. Literally, this is one of the reasons for life. So that we can grow, evolve, our soul can learn new wisdom, new ways of being. We're here for lessons. We're here to become our greatest selves. I truly, truly believe that. And so the reason why today is so powerful is that it's a very special day for both endings and beginnings. So what I mean by that is if you wanted to really start a brand new chapter and leave things behind that are not serving you, and also at the same time create a new timeline, a new path, this is the day. And so this morning, my beloved and I, we spent 3 hours in ritual. And I'm going to share the ritual that we did so that you can also do this ritual for yourself in your way. I love rituals. It's a really powerful and shamanic way to shift our energy and to use our magician power. We are here as creator beings on this planet. And when you do rituals, it's like a prayer in action. I have a whole rituality course. Rituals have been a big part of my becoming, my transformation. They provide results with grace, with ease, quickly. That's why I love them. And the best part is like, if you just do the ritual and have the intention, it is done. It is done, it is done. And that's it. You just sit and wait. And it's not even about waiting. It's already in motion. It's already happening. It is done. And I always love to do rituals, especially the solstice time and the equinox time. And then if you're really, I would say, like a good student, then you do one every New Year's, every new moon and every full moon. And I really feel, though, if you are limited with your time or you feel like you don't have enough time, today is a powerful day to do a solstice ritual for yourself. So that's my gift to you today. My gift to you today is to share with you this powerful ritual that you can do. So the first part of the ritual is candles. So you can do this if you have a partner, a beloved, someone in your life, even your children, or if you're calling children in, you can also do this as well, where there's one for each person. And if you're calling in children and they're yet to be born, you can have one for all the children to come, right? Because you don't know how many that will really be. And if you have children that are alive, and then you have one for each of them. And so I like to use tea light candles because they burn for about 4 hours, at least the regular traditional ones. Or I think there's some that burn for 2, 4, and 8 hours. So it's like the 4-hour tea lights are really great. You create a nice altar if you don't have one already. And then you begin by lighting the candles. And each person lights their individual candle. I like to use matches because you want a fresh energy. If you use a lighter, basically everything that lighter ever touched is then going to go into the energy of your candle. So better to use matches. So you light the candles and you set the intention. So it's like, today I call upon our benevolent loving guides, the forces of unconditional love, the highest frequencies of divine love and light to be here in this space, calling in our benevolent loving ancestors, our benevolent loving spirit guides. If there's certain archangels or angels or spirit guides that you connect to, call them in as well. And so by calling in all these divine helpers, it's going to amplify your ritual even more, because your ritual is essentially a moment to connect with the divine. And you are here co-creating reality with a whole spirit team. So you have a whole spirit team that wants to support you. And especially on today, you're going to do 2 rituals together. And the first ritual is a release ritual where you want to create space for what you're calling in. This is the death part. So especially on winter solstice, you want to make clear, like, what am I letting go of? What am I ready to cleanse, heal, transmute? What do I just no longer want? And it can be things like emotions. It can be things like suffering, pain, being a victim. It could be any resentments, grudges, regrets you're holding on to. Literally anything you can think of. I always like to include hexes, curses, spells. I like to include other people's energy, entities. So basically everything you want to release, you're going to write down on a piece of paper. And as you write this is a piece of paper that you want to take out of a book, or it's a loose leaf sheet. And you want to be sure that this paper does not touch anything or anyone. It's yours, because you're basically like doing a cathartic process on it. So you don't want anyone to touch it. You don't want anyone to be contaminated with all this energy that you're like, I want to let go of this, right? Write everything down. Then when you're done, you can get like a pot or a gold bowl, and you are going to burn it with another match, a different match. Each person has their own match. And before you burn it, I like to roll it into like a scroll, and then you just clean yourself with this scroll of paper with all the things you've written down that you want to release. And if you feel tension, tightness, contraction, if you have any disease, you just kind of rub it there extra. You just rub everything, let it all go, right? And then you light it on fire with the match and you let it completely burn. And so now it's going to be in that pot. It's going to be in that glass bowl. You're letting this paper burn, letting go of everything that's not serving you. And then you put that aside. You're going to put that in nature when you're done with this next segment. Then you're going to get something that you like to clean the house with, whether it's Palo Santo or sage. And if you don't have those, then you can also use a singing bowl. You can use an incense. And you go around to every room and you clean every room energetically. You just say this is a space of love and healing and success and prosperity and joy and peace and harmony and all the things you want to call it. And it's clearing everything that is not love, clearing everything that is not light. And so you go and you clean all the rooms. This is like that, again, helps with the death, the letting go. And then when you're done, you cleanse each other. So you can take turns of who goes first. And if you're by yourself, you just clean yourself. Just cleanse yourself, front, back, all around. Use your intuition. Let it guide you. Then you are going to get a piece of paper that's also a blank piece of paper. And if you're doing this ritual with other people, everyone get their piece of paper. And now is the time to set your intentions. So like we talked about, today's an auspicious day, a beautiful, powerful day for beginnings and endings, because this marks like the death, the moment of the death cycle. And the moment there's death, there's rebirth. So we're waning down the death, and then right at that tipping point moment when it's the exact moment of solstice, in the next minute, the birth phase is already beginning. So it's like you get both together. And so you now write down everything you're wanting to create in your life. And I like to do kind of like 3 lists. The first list is what you want to manifest, create, receive within the next 1 to 2 months. Then you do another segment that's within the next year. And then you do a third bucket list, fun, things that you want to experience this year, things you want to see, have, kind of something that's a little more light, but still is everything that would just make life even more joyful and wonderful, because why not, right? So you're going to create that list too. And so once you're done, there's this, and I always like to write it as if it already happened. So as you're writing them, you say like, thank you for, one of the things that I'm calling it is the seafront home that I'm going to purchase myself. I've been renting all these years, deciding where I want to land for the long term. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to buy. So it's just a matter of finding the house, right? So that was one of my my goal for the year. And then within the next 3 months, I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to have my 1-to-1 spots sold out with a paid wait list and have thousands of people inside my codes and courses, right? So I was really focused on business. And do you see? So it's like they're all applicable to now, but you have kind of your short-term goals and your longer-term goals. And then within the year, I'd love to finally find my publishing agent, as well as connect to the publishing house that will publish all of my books. And that's amazing, right? And so if anyone knows anyone, any publishing agents, I'm looking for someone, and I'm really only interested in the top 5 publishing houses. So send me a message, send them my way. So then after you do your list that you're manifesting, you read them out loud to yourself, to the other person. And like I said, you write them as if it's already happening. So it's like, thank you so much. I'm so grateful that I found and purchased my dream seafront home that has land for a garden, that has land for a dome where I can host my healing events and in-person events, right? Like this, details. And then you, at the end, say, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, and so it is. All of this or something even better. That's kind of like the magic spell that I like to add at the end of all of my intention lists, because sometimes there's something better waiting for you that you have no idea about. Like for me, I always thought I would have stayed in Malibu, but like I got taken on a journey to Ibiza, and I love it here so much more. So sometimes we think we know what we really want, but maybe we haven't experienced something yet. So we always want to leave space so that you could receive that thing too. Or whatever is better that you can't even see, that your guides know about. And oh, thank you so much, Tahia. Thank you. So then, after you do that, I left 2 other things out. Before I started, I give an offering. So you can do the offering before the release. Ideally, you do it right when you light the candle and you set the intention for the container and you call in your guides, you give an offering. So I decided to sing a song. My beloved played the drum and I sang, and the song was my offering. Sometimes it's incense. Sometimes I'm actually going to give some extra fruit to my altar as well. So you can give anything, whatever you want, but just some kind of offering. And if you do give food, then you let it sit there for about 24 to 48 hours before you then eat it. Okay, so ritual is done. I like to read the intentions out loud. If you do the ritual with someone else, you each read your intentions. It's really nice and sweet like that. Or you just read them out loud yourself. Why? Because remember, abracadabra, I spell as I speak. Your spoken word is even more powerful than your written word. And next, what you do is, I like to pull a card. I have different oracle decks, and what we did today too is we drank rose tea, because rose is so healing and it raises your vibration and your frequency. So we drank some rose tea, and that really brought us into a deep meditative heart-based space. So you can drink cacao, any kinds of teas like flower teas and cacao, and as you're making it, you just set beautiful intentions. We sang mantras into it. Now I'm giving like all the real scoop and the details about the ritual that I did today, so that if you want to do that, also know to do the ritual within 3 days. So you still have through the weekend, So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So through Tuesday. So if you want to do a ritual, this ritual, do it by Tuesday. And if you don't do it, you can still do it. Obviously, it's still powerful, but where you get the astrology and the sun to support you and the moon and all the things even more is during the portal of the winter solstice. So you can save this ritual. So definitely save this video if you want to do this ritual at a later time. Next, we did a little dance. We said what we were grateful for. And so the reason why we do a dance, why, is because it's a moment of celebration. So I pull a card and it kind of gives me the indication. And I believe mine was like about the return or something like that. Something about a return. And it was just basically saying like, this is the moment I've been waiting for. So I'm like, hallelujah, everything's gonna happen perfectly. And my beloved picked something too that was, the initiation or something like that. So also about like more stepping into more of his leadership path and everything. And so it was funny, we downloaded a new business for him today. So it's like perfect. So then next you go. So once you're finished and you pull the cards and you did your dance and you're clear on your intentions, clear on what you're creating, have let everything go. Now you go to nature. And the first part is you put the ashes into the earth. So you can put it on the soil, you can bury it, you can just kind of let it go into the breeze, but the ashes go back to the earth. And then you want to make sure you wash that pot or bowl, whatever you use, wash it really well. Then the next step is to go and swim in the sea, a lake, a river. If it's winter, it doesn't matter, go anyway. Okay, if it's snowing and there's nowhere, or you just don't live anywhere near a body of water that you feel safe swimming in. If it's cold, it's okay. That's good for you actually. But if you don't want to swim in nature because it is cold, then you can take a shower or a bath. Ideally a bath, a salt bath before the shower. But if worst case scenario, you take a shower and you use salt and you just scrub your body. This gives you that extra cleansing and reboot to your system. And then you enjoy the rest of your day. Now, I do recommend that after you share your intentions, that you take time to sit in meditation and listen for any wisdom, guidance, clarity, any next steps. And you'll be surprised. And what we received a really powerful energetic activation. I invite you to listen to my illumination meditation if you want to be guided in a meditation through this process, because the illumination one is perfect for any solstice time. It's about awakening the light within. Okay, and so I'm just reading some of your comments. So basically, this is a really powerful opportunity to let go of what's not serving, make that space, call in what you're calling in, listen, receive the divine downloads, the healings, the activation, and then boom, ritual complete. And so I invite you to try it. Let me know how it goes for you. If you're in the Americas, you still have plenty of time to do this ritual today on solstice. If you're in Europe, as I am, the day is coming to the end, but you can still do it actually. It's perfect evening time ritual to do for yourself or with your beloved. And share your comments below if you're catching the replay. And I will see you tomorrow for day 4 of our 12 days of giving. Big kiss to you, and bye for now.